creation evaluation station where I give in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also review and discuss other creative works such as movies, cartoons, and video games. I'm going to be evaluating something that has not been released yet. And just a reminder, this is not sponsored by Lego or anybody else. So what is it I am evaluating today? It is this, the Ninja Training Center. Here's the back of the box. And what's interesting about this set is, it's very much a play set, but it also is supposed to connect, probably shows it maybe in the bottom down there, but it's supposed to connect to the temple. Unfortunately, do not have the temple yet. I'm waiting to get my hands on it, and I might showcase both of them together when that actually happens. But onto the details of this set. It's set number 71764. It's for ages 7 and up. It's a 524 piece set, and it retails for $39.99 on the Lego website. And once again, it's not supposed to release until March 1st. So it's there. There will be a link in the description, although it won't be for sale yet. And if you're here after the fact, after March, well, it will be for sale. And sorry you missed out on the fun of the tease of the sneak peek. But this is going to be different. This is very much like a playset. There isn't even really a vehicle, unless you consider the Spin Jitsu spinner thing to be a vehicle. Which, an interesting note is, none of these spinners were in the first wave, which is probably why they released this now, because along with this, they have 4 spinners that are being released as well. Now, I have not seen those at stores. I don't know if anybody else has. I'm usually not too interested in the spinners because I'm more in the construction thing, although there are some usually nice minifigures in them, which is primarily why I would pick them up. So I don't usually review them. Probably won't. If I do, it'll be all together. But that's another story. Let's get this put together and check it out in its entirety. We have the contents of the box here. We have one really thick booklet. Although it's not a really big booklet, but it is thick. We have bag number 1, bag number 2, bag number 3, bag number 4, and bag number 5. Quite a few bags, but wait, there's more. We also have a bunch of loose pieces that were sitting out. And that's it for the box. We'll look at those pieces a little bit closer. Here's our cast of characters for this set. Not too many, considering it's a larger set, a $40 set. But you notice Zane's pretty bare. He does have his sword. It's actually part of the other set, and but he's got no shoulder pad or anything like that. He's kind of stripped down because he's supposed to go inside the spinner. Other than that, yeah, actually there is kind of one more other character, but he's a buildable character, and we'll actually look at him when we do the main review. But this snake guy in this set is probably one of my favorites. A lot of these sets, these are like techno snakes or whatever, and they've got all sorts of gadgets and gizmos. Now this guy, he's got those cool shoulder pads and just a big old sword, and he's one of my favorites. The other one would be the guy with the helicopter with the big fists. He also has those shoulders. They're just, instead of being all, you know, tech savvy, they're just a bunch of bruisers looking for a brawl. No frills or anything like that. I just like those characters better than the kind of gimmicky techno guys. But let's strip them the rest of the way down and check out the details on the backs. Here they are, all stripped down. And one thing I forgot to mention a little earlier is Zane's got his plain old uniform in this that he has throughout the this wave. It's a little disappointing because we get the spinner with his spinner with this, and along with this set release, they also released the other spinners, but the ninjas were all like energy powered up. Meanwhile, Zane gets just a plain uniform and doesn't even get, you know, full armor with the shoulder and sheath for his sword. But yeah, it's disappointing. But there's the fronts. So turn them around. There's no wigs in this one, no hair pieces. So nothing new there. And the backs, as you see, is pretty much the same we've had throughout this season. Wave, not really a season. And there's Jay's smiley face. So we've got everything here together. And there's a lot of little things all over the place, but there's nothing too complicated. I'm going to go over every little thing right here because there's not too much, and we'll probably take a closer look at the large item, the large piece there, and then we'll see how things work. So first, we have this. Now this has a nice little neat gimmick. You hit this and it tips the bucket. But you see, it doesn't move very fast. Or it doesn't, like, it moves really fast. Like, it goes up and down real quick. Doesn't stay down very long. Also, not quite sure why, but there is these little white flags, and you'll see them on other parts. I'm not sure what they're meant for, but yeah, we'll keep an eye out for them. There's a couple of them all over, but we'll see how this works later. But that's basically that build. There's not too much more to that. It is not attached. There's no place to attach it like a lot of the other ones. And this is set up the way that they have it in the instruction booklet. And though these sections can be all separated from here, there's a little joint piece that's a whole separate piece. Then you got the punchy bag thing here, and then this thing, and also this over here can be attached. As you can see here, this is how they're attached, with a peg pin on one side and then a regular pin on the other. They go together really easy and they separate really easy, except for one thing. These gray pins, like if this was stuck with into something, you pull it out, the gray pin always comes out with the other item. So the tan pin is here, and the gray pin is stuck in the other item. I mean, it's easy enough to pull out, but it's a little annoying. I don't know. I'm not even sure why it does that. That would imply there's more tension on the other side. But it does allow you to customize this many different ways, but not quite so simply. Like this here will not attach directly to the larger build, simply because of the way it's built with the building here will bump into that. And also on the main build, there are 1x2 brick with the peg holes here and in the back, so you can attach both here in the front or back, or maybe you want ones on this side and ones on the other side. You can customize it however you want. Just certain pieces don't fit well, like this one doesn't fit well onto the main building. They can attach to any of these other builds fairly easy. And this one on the outside obviously doesn't have a hookup anywhere. And the instructions don't have this on here, and I don't know why, and oops, that fell off. And while I have it here in my hot little hand, take a closer look. It's simply just like a building entrance. Like, I don't know if this is a part that's supposed to attach to the main temple. By the way, this is supposed to attach to the main temple. It kind of makes sense. I haven't got the main temple yet, or I'd show it all together. I might have to do a little small featurette or something where I do that when I can get my hands on it. But it makes sense because there's already, Nia's got our little training ground that's also attached to the temple. So it makes sense that they'd have another. But yeah, so this seems to be just a doorway to it. It looks, that's what it looks like. This is where Zane's sword is stored. He, like I said, I said in the figure part, but he doesn't have his sheath. And this is where his sword's kept, and I don't know why, but that's the way that is. And this is a very, nice, simple build, but nice looking build. And moving on to this little thing here in the corner. It's basically a spinning fighting post, and I love these spikes everywhere, and it rotates. Fairly simple. There's not much else to it. And then we have this other little, like, it looks like a cave entrance. Like maybe that's supposed to be another section that attaches to the main temple, but it's got this great punching bag right here. And on top of that, you can see down here, the other side, there's a translucent piece there. And I think that's so that they can stand on that and use that to make them look like they're in the air kicking and whatnot. And next to the punching bag, we have this kind of snake looking rock, and it's basically a target, and it is attached with two studs, but it's fairly easy to break off like that. Other than that, there's not too much left to that. It's just, a bunch of rocks and pile of rocks, supposed to be. So with that, let's pop that off. We are going to take a closer look at the bigger thing here in a moment. Before we do that, though, we have this little, I don't know what it's supposed to be. An altar with snakes in it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why the flames or whatever. It's supposed to look important, I guess. And it has two snakes in it. Look like there's, hanging out in there. And this is probably my favorite part of the set, right here. And this is why I'm saying there's another character, so to speak. It's this giant buildable snake warrior training dummy. I think it's supposed to be a training dummy that comes to life, but it's very posable. It does have limitations to its posability because the elbows are just, crooked pieces, but you can, do a chopping action. He's coming to get you. Can move somewhat sideways. It's not the best. Head moves, leg moves, even has a torso twist here. I really like the build for this, how they designed it so it looks like it's a barrel with various parts attached to it to give it its look. Feet work great. There's even a little thing here you could attach a tail or something to if you wanted to. Some more parts of your own collection. Got printed eyes. He's all around just kind of fun. He wobbles a little bit. That's okay for kind of a janky. Not supposed to look high tech. He's like supposed to be like a training dummy. So that's kind of cool. Probably my favorite part of the set. So let's push everything off to the side, just about, and take a closer look. At this thing here, because this is the main build essentially, and I like the aesthetics of it. Let's turn around. You can see here some burps, big ugly rock pieces here, and on the other side as well. And yep, here is the spinner, and it's got a nice easy storage place down here. It's a tight fit, which I wonder about that, because there's something else we'll see here in a little bit. But it is set in there, and it can stay in there when Zane's not using it. Not that it's actually a vehicle, because technically they're just using their spinjitzu, and this is a physical appearance of it. But yeah, it fits in there pretty tight. This thing itself, I love the dual molding and the colors here. I think that's dual molding. Pretty sure. But the only problem is with this. Oop. Guess I'm gonna twist it the other way. No, that was the right way. Come on. There we go. There is like nothing you can do with this. There's no buildable part except for the very bottom. Right here at the bottom, there's a place there, which that goes on. And so I suppose there's something you could do with that. But then this piece, there's nothing you can do with. There's no studs or anything. Put it on there. And it goes on there. You line up those and you give it a little twist and it'll clip on. And it is secure. That's not going to fall off when you twist it. You need this part here to twist, to spin it anyways. And just does clip on there nice and tight. See how this works. Zane simply just sits there, and you can see there's no studs in there, so he's not holding in secure. He's not going to fall out either, but you can see he jiggles around there. And then that simply goes over top. Clips back in, and there he is stuck inside there. Not a lot of room for weapons, which, although I think he could probably still hold his sword in there, but I'm not sure. But that's that. Now, before I go any further in this, let me just show you how well this spins. Alright, let's see how this spins. First you need this thing, which you build this thing as a special brick here that this thing goes on, and then the other stuff's kind of built around it. Got a nice little printed piece there. And this little black part goes right in the hole there. And then there's holes along the side here, and you want to just catch it just right, like so, and you see it's dropping, and you push it in. He's already spinning. Okay, now it's all set up and ready to go. Let's get it down here a little bit farther. Let's see how well this thing spins. Still going. As it just come right back into the camera. It's beautiful. No, don't go away. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, so these spinners really go. Just finally stop. Alright, so let's load it back up. And so these things work great. Very well designed. Oh, there is one thing. There are some technique holes here that I don't know. You could maybe do something with. I don't know what you would do with that, considering the long cord attachment. But this is where things get a little bit off. It clearly shows in the instructions you are supposed to be able to put him in here and he will come down this chute and come out and, you know, spin around or whatever. So let's put our snake thing here. So he's got a target. And if you haven't figured out, this whole set basically are supposed to be kind of targets for this thing. I mean, they can be used just as, you know, training for the ninjas, because that's what they are. But you can also, you know, use this to smash into, like, the snake target over here. Or, you know, hit the punching bag or the spinner thing. They're all targets. And, well, we'll go look at that one next. But, so yeah, he's supposed to come down here. Now, I'm going to move this flag down a little bit, just so it's out of the way. You can see. Now, actually, we're going to take that right off. Take the flag off, just so you can see better. There's the mechanism here. See this rock piece here. This goes down like that. And the thing that makes it down is this little handle here on the side. You push it down. See that? Boom. So. And there's a nice little mechanism in here to allow you to do that. It's very nicely designed and made. And there's one of the flags up there too. So, let's try this out. We got our snake guy down here at the bottom. So, he's our target. And we get this. Whoop. My bad. I've done this before, so I just messed it up. First, put it down in there. It's kind of hard to do this with the camera, though. That's part of the problem. Alright, there it's spinning. Let it loose. You see that? That snake's still standing. Yeah. This is where the set kind of sours. And considering this is the centerpiece, and when it goes in there, you know, you can spin it, it stays there. Then you let it loose. It doesn't go where it's supposed to go. It basically just falls down the side here and goes off over here somewhere. Does not go down the ramp, unfortunately. And yeah, that's kind of an issue. And on to the next one. This oh, did I show you the backside? I think I did, yes. On to the next part. Let's first load this up. I do like that this is not just teeth, like it goes, the teeth go all the way around it, so it gives it more stability. You're not gonna break teeth that easily with it. But yeah. Alright, on to this thing. This one, I'm supposed to put this in here, switch the thing, and it dumps it out. So, get a good angle. There it is. Let her go. Okay, that time it actually released, but it does not work very well. And that's the way the instructions show to do it. But I think let's try something else instead. Oh, let's take the snake guy. Let's put him in there, like so. And then, yep. I've not mastered controlling this. But I think this works better as a target that you can tempt to and then knock him out. But even still, you see that it moves fast enough. He doesn't get dumped out very well. Let's move his arm. He kind of got hooked there. Yeah, see, several hits before he falls out there. So yeah, the biggest flaws of this set are the gimmicks dealing with this and this. This is great on its own, as you've seen. It works wonders. This, I mean, I love the look of this whole building here, but it kind of loses its purpose. Yeah, so I think that the problems with this set has to do actually with this. I don't know if they had this when they were actually designing this. Maybe they were, or they had some kind of prototype that was actually smaller. But this and the other thing just don't work. Although this doesn't work on multiple levels, and I think it's, I don't know. Like they need to get rid of the springy. There's a rubber piece right here. Like we could pull that off. See what happens. Yeah. That looks much better. Probably works much better. Because you know, like, hit it, and it just completely falls over. Rather than springing back up. So, yeah, I don't know. It was designed behind something different than this, or they were planning on something different than this, because I think this is the same type of spinner they've had in the past. So they may have been trying to develop something different and it didn't work, and they ended up with these after all. And, well, you see what happens. It's too big, too wide. I mean, this is one thing. It hits. Like, it's big, and it just hits the sides here and here with the thing. So there's no hope of it actually landing into there. So, anyways, let's get back to the desk and give it a final eval. Here we are back at the desk, and time to give this thing a final eval. You can see there's quite a bit here. A lot of parts to this. overall, can't say I'm exactly happy with this. It's not terrible. Um, we'll get into it more as we give it its eval. Um, Starters for appearance, it looks good. I like the aesthetic we got going here. It definitely matches the temple. Like I said, I don't have that yet here to show with you. From what I've seen from pictures, it definitely works. I love the fall color scheme with the leaves here and the overall, you know, earthy colors that this has. Looks very much, you know, like an outside in fall training area that it's supposed to be. I really like this snake eye, or the little snake figure thing. What exactly it's supposed to be, I don't know, but it looks pretty good for a buildable thing. And it's also, I believe, supposed to look like a training dummy as well. So it's, you know, looks like it's made out of some logs and a barrel and some other things. My biggest problem with appearance is the fact that this has a spinner in it, and in the same wave that the set comes in, there are individual spinner sets that are around, I think, $10 each, and each one of those has an energy ninja in it. I can't remember off the top of my head who was in those. There's 3 of them, I believe. Well, this is Zane's spinner set, essentially. But we just get a plain Zane. We don't get an energy Zane. Which is disappointing, and even more disappointing, we don't even have a sheath for him. We have a sword, so he can at least carry his elemental blade. But there's no sheath. Even if he can't have it in here, they could have just added it as an extra piece. I mean, they've done that with hair pieces. Just added them in. You know, you can't have the hair piece and the cowl on at the same time. So, other than that, it looks really good. So I will be taking a point off for that, but I will be giving it a 9. Appearance is getting a 9. Yeah, there's no real problems with the looks of this. It looks like a training center. Now, on to function. Yes. This is where it tanks. The whole gimmick here. Well, before I get to the negative, let's go over the positives. It's really great how you can rearrange these parts. This is, you know, designed that the certain sections can be separated and reassembled any way you want, except for this middle thing here I have here that has no attachments and is just kind of free flowing. This isn't. This can actually be attached over here. It just wasn't in the instructions, so I don't have it that way. So that's really nice. The large snake figure here, I guess we'll just call it training dummy. It's very posable, but works great. Could use just, you know, a little bit posable. Doesn't have elbows, so this angle is kind of permanently stuck. But it functions good. It's not a super large mech or anything, and it's even a halfway decent sized mech. The spinner works amazing. See, you rip that thing, and this is designed well. That, you know, I've seen spinners and things in the past, and it's just, you know, a straight line of teeth, and those teeth get broken. But with these are round, like they go all the way around here. It's not a corkscrew, it's just a simple, lots of rows of these circles, and it works really well, and it's less likely to break. You're not going to have teeth break on you very easy with this. And as you see from my earlier clip there, where I look at it close, the spin, it takes off. It's and it balances and it spins forever. So that is a very good function. I like the little, you got this training thing that fights back with the weapons, and you even have a nice hanging punching bag here. It's got a little bit of play to it, so boom boom, it's gonna swing a little bit if you're pretending you're punching it. So those are all good things. They're small good things, but then we get to the bad things. The next one up is this doesn't work as advertised. The way it's designed, this comes right back up. If you hit it, it doesn't launch very well. It tips just a little bit, but most of the time, what's in there, it doesn't tip enough for it to come out of the little basket there. So yeah, that's a little disappointing and definitely lacking in function. And then there's the big thing here that you can see here, the big brown slide here, that you're like, oh, this is going to be cool. It's going to come down the slide and go do whatever. Maybe you aim it at some of these things, because that's essentially what this training area is. It basically gives you little targets for your spinner to try to hit. This doesn't work. It's built nice. It's designed here, well to it's got a nice mechanism to launch it, but the way this is all designed, I feel like it's designed for something smaller than what we got, because if you try using this, it falls off and crashes. If you're lucky, you may land on its bottom and start spinning some more. Half the time it'll just land on its side and roll off on, out of the way and not spin. So that is a big detriment to this set. So as far as function is it's getting a 6. There's a lot of little things it does right, but there's some major, the major selling points of this set don't work. Yeah, so like I said, it's getting a 6. It's pretty bad with that point. Now, fun, we have balance with the characters. Even though technically this is the Ninja's base, part of their base, their training area. So you'd think there might be 1 or 2 more ninjas in this set, and considering it's a larger set, you could see them putting it. It'd be a good idea to have another figure, even if they just put another snake figure, so we have 2 snakes and 2 ninjas. But we also have this buildable figure thing here too. So I think that's kind of counts to balance things out. So we're the good guys versus balance things. I think it is fairly even with this. That's not all that describes for fun, though. As I said, the purpose of this thing is to have targets for the spinner to spin at things, and for that's fun. You can aim it at the targets or at the punching bag or whatever. That is fun. But the main draw to this set, the big brown slide with the hill, the mountain that you knock the thing down and it's supposed to spin all around, doesn't work. That would be a really fun feature, but it doesn't work. So, regretfully, and also this doesn't work very well either. But you could use it to come up with some play value. This doesn't. I mean, if this worked, you could use this whole thing as a launch pad to try to aim the slide at individual pieces on this thing, but it doesn't it doesn't work. Um, so yeah, for fun, despite the balance and everything else, other things that just don't work, um, it's getting a 7. Now, moving onwards to technique, there isn't anything so amazing. I mean, it's great that, you know, they have connectors here, that things to connect the different pieces together and different angles, and you can rebuild it the way you want to build it. It's not an amazing technique that they did with that. There's some clever building design here with the launch mechanism here, and also integrating that in with this like tree mountain cave thing they have going on here. So it offers some interesting things there, but not super amazing techniques. You know, the mixel joints, you know, the joints, nothing amazing. The design for the build and some of the techniques just to create the body, we'll give them you know, points for that. There's some nice little techniques in there, but overall there's not anything fancy here. Not that there's anything terrible either. So as far as techniques going to be getting, it's going to get an 8. Like you would think the fact that this doesn't work is part would nerf that number, but it's not, because the design of this seems like it should work. The problem is the actual spinner, and it's too large, and I think this is built for something smaller or something. That's why it's not working. The design technique isn't the problem. It's something else. So yeah, that being said, we do our magical math stuff and get a an average of 7.5. And yes, that is its final grade is 7.5. It's a little bit less than that. I think is a meh. 8 is a meh set. This is a little bit less than that. But you know, if it has some things that you want, it's not super terrible. I mean, I don't think it's worth it for the snake guy. I really like the snake guy, but it's not worth it just for that. But it comes with a lot of pieces, and the price is really good, which we're moving into next. So as prices go, it's 529 pieces, but only sells for $39.99, $40. So you do that math, and it comes to only 7 cents a piece. Now I kind of knew this just looking at it. I'm like, oh, this set's really good price for a number of pieces that are in. And I first thought when I started opening up the bags, you know, I show the parts and stuff, but I looking at those first couple bags of parts. I'm like, there's a lot of small parts here. Maybe that's why it's so cheap, even despite it. But as it moved on, there aren't just cheap, small little parts. There's huge burps. There's this giant slide. The whole this isn't exactly a cheap thing to build. So yeah, it's definitely getting more than your money's worth when it comes to pieces. That being said, it's really not as advertised. You're not getting something that works properly. And I wanted, when I first saw it, like, oh, this is going to be an excellent priced set, because it is, you know, such a larger set for such a good price. But the non-functioning parts of this not functioning like they're supposed to greatly reduces that, and because of that, it's not going to get an excellent. It is going to get a good. It's going to get a good price. I mean, if you want something just for parts, or this isn't a bad set just for random parts. You know, you get some interesting pieces with the leaves, the rocks, a bunch of other pieces that are unique in this set. So I'm not sure you'd want to just buy it for that. But yeah, so the final eval is a 7.5G. It's getting a G for good, and it's an 7.5. Now, kids can still have fun with this set. It's just some of the bigger functioning things don't work. It still works as a training center for the ninjas and something you can use for targets with your thing. Just this big thing, the big center piece doesn't work. And you know, if you just want to buy some spare parts, you know, maybe you just want to scrap this, you want a few extra ninjas or snake figures, or you just want to build this guy here and scrap the rest, you know, even at $40, it's a little much for a scrapping set. If you can find it discounted even more, which may happen, because I don't know how well this is going to sell if it doesn't work. You know, I could see a lot of people buying this and then returning it. This set feels like very much a failure for Lego, and I'm wondering, like, I think the major cause is the actual spinner. Not that the spinner doesn't work well, but it's not the one that, because I think they've had sets in the past with this the same exact spinner setup design. I don't have them, or at least I haven't put them together yet. If I do, I don't tend to buy these unless they have figures or weapons or something that I want to get. They're usually $10, a decent price, but if all you get is this and a ninja with one sword, it's not worth it for me unless I really want that figure, which is one reason why they tend to put the energy figures, I think, in these. Plus, it just kind of makes sense that they're powering up and to do the spinny thing, the ninjutsu, or spinjitsu, excuse me, not ninjutsu. They do ninjutsu, spinjitsu. But I believe these were supposed to be smaller, and I don't know if something happened in the development and they weren't able to get it, and thus released them with these larger, older ones that they've had. And that's why this doesn't work. I mean, is that why this set didn't come out when the original Core Wave came out? Because that's the thing. I'm considering this Core 1.5. This and the other spinners. Why didn't they come out with the main one? Now, the spinners, I could see them waiting maybe. I really don't know why. Because there was no. Well, there were $10 sets that came out. So I don't know why. I mean, I thought maybe they wanted to release these around Easter, which March is good. Beginning of March is a good time for that, and therefore they also released this to go along with that, since it kind of works together. Because you could bring the other spinners and use them in here as well, except for the tree piece, the mountain piece that doesn't work. So I wonder if that's why these were delayed and didn't come out with the original wave. Came out in this little mini spinjitsu wave. I don't know, but yet this is designed to actually combine with the bigger set as well. So that's quite the mystery. Anyways, tell me what you guys think down in the comments after seeing this. I definitely can't recommend this to everyone. Um, there isn't even that much ninjutsu or ninja in. Wow, can't talk. There isn't much Ninjago specific for this set, although this flag, I believe, is unique to this set. So if you wanted all the flags, you'd have to get this. Although maybe it's in the other one. It has this on the set. Maybe there's some flags in the smaller sets, but I don't know. For some reason I don't remember seeing much in the way of other parts. They very much seem to be just the spinner and the parts to make the spinner and then the figure. I don't even know if there's weapons in those. I have to look at them again. I don't intend on reviewing them. I think I've seen enough of the spinner with this. They do have special figures, which makes me kind of want to get it, but I don't know. If I get them, I will review them all together, all three of them at once, or four of them. I think there's only three. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this set down below. I'm definitely not happy with it. I mean, this set really isn't up my alley anyways. I like vehicles and mechs and stuff. And it's not like I don't mind terrain like this, which is one reason I do kind of like it. I like it's an extension to the main temple. And I like the temple. I do like buildings and things like that. Though the vehicles, the cars, the mechs, the helicopters, planes, whatever, are more interesting to me than this. I still like these because it's kind of like you need these to have a play set for the vehicles, you know. But this one, also the main gimmick is the Spinjitzu spinner, and so it really wasn't up my alley to begin with. Now the price was great, so I was really happy with the price before even opening up the box. I'm like, okay, this is good. But this has been a rather disappointment despite even the price. I mean, overall, eval looks better than it is because the price is so low. Yeah, so that's that. If you enjoyed this video, whether you enjoyed this set or not, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and share it with others. And like I said, please leave comments down below. Anything. It doesn't have to be about this set. I don't know if you ever watched my very first video where I discussed what I want to do with my channel. I do want to interact with my things, my viewers and stuff, and talk about, like, whether they just simply have questions if they're, you know, parents buying for a child or whatever, or if there's just, you know, talk that people want to talk about different sets or things they've seen or interesting points about the video or whatever. I'm not just looking that up to help the algorithm find me. I do want to interact with my fellow fans, because I am a Lego fan first before I am a YouTuber trying to make money, although I am trying to, you know, do something with my hobby to, you know, make it worth it, and I'll pay for the hobby as well. But you know, that's that. So please, let's talk about this. This set, there's a lot to talk about for sure. If you have any questions, please leave them down below as well. I mean, I tried to show in-depth review as much as possible. Something I might miss, or you might have a question on something, go ahead and ask. So, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe if you enjoyed my content here. I know the videos are long. That's what the timestamps are for. You can skip or, you know, watch whenever you get a chance to. And yeah, please subscribe. Help the channel grow. I am going to be looking into potentially getting Patreon, and I also have Facebook and Twitter links down below, so you can sign up and follow me there and get notifications, because I notify them, and I'm also more likely to put news down in them too, so you know, you don't get like just a YouTube notification that the video is out. Anyways, this has been Edwin here at the Creation Evaluation Station, reminding you that creativity is key. Here we have the leftover pieces from the set. A lot of small, fiddly, useful items. We do have a printed dot there. Nice leftover little flame. A lot of other little dot things. Oh, there's another printed one. Oh, that's not printed. Just a plain dot. We have a duplicate of this little gray piece. Other little things you can definitely make some kind of weapons or something with. Got a teeth and claw, whatever you want to call it. We have a extra one of these clear pieces, which that can be very handy for certain things. And of course, some extra weapons, like usual. Some nice little extras in this one. Before I get into the bags, let's look at the loose stuff. We got this wonderful slide. Don't have many of these slide pieces because they're usually in the Friends sets. Be messing around with that before I put it together, see what I can do with that. And we have our swirly spinner thing. You can see the figure goes down in there. It's got some studs on the bottom. They're not too much in the way of connections. I do like the dual molding in there. It looks really cool. And we have the ripcord that's needed to fire it off. And this is not a new piece. They've used ripcords before. Got nice little Technic pinholes on the top. I don't really know much you could do with this, but you know, if you needed something for looks, I suppose it would work. But yeah, that's that. Now let's get to the actual bags. Here is the contents of bag 1. We definitely have some interesting things here. First note is this thing. I don't know if that's a new piece or not. I have not seen anything like it before. Oh wait, maybe is that part of the ripcord system? Oh, that's part of the ripcord system. I think that's what you. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. And this is definitely part of the ripcord system. And so is this clear piece. Goes over the top. Looking at it, there's no real. Like, I thought maybe you could use this for something other than this, but there's no real connection to anything except for it looks like the spinner part. So that's kind of disappointing. You can't do anything else with it. Got some other different things here. Now this is a piece I have not seen before. It's kind of a saucer with a solid saucer. It's flat on the bottom. Got a hole in the middle and 2 or 4 studs on top. Probably has been in other sets, I just haven't seen it. I imagine some kind of hamburger mod set or something. We have Zane over here. Doesn't look like he's got a new gi, but we'll take a closer look when we're done. Some other sorted parts. We have some printed dots and a printed big dot, round tile. That's it for bag 1. This is the contents of bag 2. Got a few more pieces I think in this one than the other one. There may be 5 bags, but there's not a lot of pieces in each. Got these lovely gold spiky round pieces, and they are kind of pokey. They hurt if you press into them too much. Bunch of slow bricks, leather bricks, and an angle bracket. A lot of these one stud circular 2x2 tiles. It's a mouthful. They need a better name. Got some dots, some 2 green single studs, which are very odd colors that stick out with everything else here. That's gold, brown, gray, black, something like that, tannish color. And we have Jay over here. And oh, these. We got these where are they? There. These clear pieces. Usually find those in minifigure, the blind bags minifigures for like superheroes and stuff. I don't know what they're going to be used for in here, but that's definitely interesting. And that's it. Yeah, a little bit more in this bag than the other one. Here we have the contents of bag 3. We had some interesting pieces like this crow's nest. Got an octagon piece. I believe those were basically developed from the Mario system. We have a ball joint piece. I'm not sure because I haven't seen the other part of that ball joint. Not sure what's gonna be attached to. Some of these round dome pieces. A lot of little pieces in this one. Have a lot of these with holes in it. A lot of just regular ones. And we also have one with a stud on it. We also have 2 blue swords and a red and green snake. And these interesting little orange flame pieces for probably candle. That's what they look like. They're just originally meant for. Probably some kind of flames going on with this set, but quite a bit in this one compared to the other 2. Quite a bit. Here's the contents of bag 4. Got quite a lot of large figures in here, including some burps, and for those who don't know, it stands for big ugly rock pieces, and those are exactly where they got their name from. Although other large pieces can be referred to as burps, but that is where they got their name from. A lot of large sloped pieces. Can definitely build the little mountain here. These cool inverted pieces. Little horns and things. And that's that. Here we have our last bag, and there are lots of planty things in here, like branchy things. We also have half a rock, plenty of leaves. We have 2 little leaves and 3 of these bigger yellow leaves. A bunch of slope bricks. See, there's more tree parts. So we have our last bad guy in here. Well, the only bad guy, but the last figure in here. And we have our collectible flag, and we also have another printed piece in here. And these are interesting. These are those light pieces, except they're not transparent. They're just gray. They're probably supposed to be like mushrooms or something. Alright, that's it. A lot of little pieces.